Good day, everyone, and welcome to Monday's episode of Car Stereo Talk. We are your hosts. I am Dean. This is Fernando, in case you didn't know that. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Today's show is brought to you by the letter A. Oh, wait, that's Sesame Street. Which brings up another good point. Side-jagging here just for a tangent. Would you consider the characters from Sesame Street Muppets?
Ooh.
So they're both, Jim's pets, and they did film them tandemly. So the Muppets were being filmed overseas in Europe, and he was jet-setting back and forth doing Sesame Street. Kermit the Frog, who is a Muppet, which is in both of them, I feel that my personal opinion is I feel that the creatures from Sesame Street are in fact Muppets because they are from Jim Henson. And he didn't call them puppets; he called them Muppets. So I feel that they're Muppets.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's my argument.
No.
Haley was arguing differently. I don't know.
You say no.
Well, she was like, because they're not on the Muppet Show, so therefore they're not Muppets. And I was like, but Kermit the Frog was on both, and he's a Muppet. So wouldn't they all be Muppets? And since Henson made them all. So either way, it's the debate that will go on forever. But regardless of that debate, it's Monday, which means Snuffleupagus. I mean, who doesn't? They're all Muppets. See, I'm just going to go with Oscar right here. They're all Muppets. And I agree. I
want to be a Muppet.
You are a Muppet. Have you, dude, you're literally the height of a Muppet.
No, I would love to have that.
Here, watch. I'll put my hand up your back and you can be like, ready? Hola, everyone, and welcome to the show. Hey, my name is Arturo, and I am here to make you. Anyways, Dave, good evening. You're first tonight. Hello from Vegas. Hello from hell. We all got to be there. Knoxville checking in. Hey, guys, what's up, Fang Hell? No. There is a hell in Michigan, and that's always the joke because it's like when it freezes, they say hell is frozen over. Yep. It's Michigan people. What do you expect? Hey, everyone.
What up?
What's up, guys? Ready for finals? No, of course not. We won't be ready until the last minute. Are you kidding me? Hello. Morning, all. Huh?
Are you competing?
Yeah. I don't know. A is for audio control. Ooh, good one. Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Yes, but no. Yeah, I understand. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A is for, could be. Can you build a full Stinger sound system? And in your opinion, how would it sound? Technically, yes, you can build a full Stinger sound system. Although some of the pieces are slowly but surely being discontinued, so you'd have to move fast because, like, the speakers and the subs and stuff like that, and the amplifiers are, which you'll find out more about in about a month. So yeah, you could right now. You could probably do it by rubbing two shiny nickels together because it's all very affordable stuff. I don't think it would sound. I think it would sound okay. I don't think it would sound. I think the most expensive set of components they have is like under $200. So
really,
it would just be like an okay system. I mean, I'm sure some people out there would be fine with it. Not me, but other people. Because remember, 1%. Good afternoon. Hey, all Muppets. Like I said, agreed. Hey guys, checking in. What's up, Cuddy? Buenos tardes.
Hey, man.
What's happening? Howdy, late to the party. Not that late. You made it in time. My favorite are the grumpy old dudes in the balcony. Yes.
Right here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Baba needs to come out of hiding. Is he? Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. They're Hensons. They're all of them. Hello and good evening. Hi. Okay, so hello from across the bay, Sefner's side. Oh yeah, what's up? And there he is. What's up, Brad? Brad checking in. Hey, so we do this little thing called the 12 Volt Clean Wire Club that is brought to you by the fine folks at Kenwood. You can find them at kenwoodusa.com. You can type in Kenwood Carstera in your browser, which I usually find is the easiest way to do it. And after I get past all the ads for Crutchfield, then I immediately get into Kenwood, which is really nice. So, with that being said, let's jump over to the laptop. And here we could see Kenwood Show sponsor. That looks like we got some classics. We got a classic Rockford. We got a classic JBL Crown Series amplifier. Mm-hmm. I always like those. Derek has the big one. The big one. Like, that's as big as him.
Is that one?
No. No, they all look like that. And then there was the giant one. It had like a Troidio power supply, like an 8-inch subwoofer. It was pretty awesome. Oh, and he's even got an Alpine DSP in there. Okay.
Yeah, Alpine DSP, wow. Rockford JBL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a Connect. An old Audison capacitor in the Connect line.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, this guy cleaned out his closet. I bet you it all sounds pretty good. It looks great. Like, it looks really nice. So, do we know who it is?
Yes. This is actually like a shop. It's called Twisters.
Twisters. Makes sense. I like the RCAs. Those remind me of those actually remind me of period RCAs, because back then we had a lot of those 8th grade. Period. Period means timely. Period correct.
Okay.
So if that would be something you'd say if it's like, hey, you need to dress for the 1990s. And you're like, okay. And so you'd show up and you go, oh, you're wearing period correct attire. 1990s. Yeah, I have a jacket. We have the Alpine jacket, that one there. But anyways, hey, if you want to be part of the 12 Volt Clean Water Club, make sure you post your pictures up. And also, if you're on the page, make sure you head over to Kenwood. Give them some love. Check them out. See what's going on. You're going to want to mark that Kenwood page, because coming up in January at Knowledge Fest, we will be at Knowledge Fest with Kenwood for reasons we cannot talk about. But damn, I'm excited. We have so many cool gigs coming up. It's going to be great. But that's January. We have many months before we get to January.
Yes.
And there's so much fun before then. Like, for example, since we're just going to be there, let me drop this guy over here and I can pull this up. If you're going to be in the Birmingham, Alabama area on the 12th, not the 13th, that's a Saturday, the 12th, we're going to be there hanging out all day long at the Car Audio Championship in Birmingham, Alabama. We're going to have our good friend Chris Vera is going to be there. High Five Vegas is going to be there. Supposedly Sage is coming, which would be great. Y'all could meet Sage.
What up, dude?
What's up, guys? Y'all stupid. Of course, Brian will be there with his car. That he's almost to the finish line, which is great. I'm sure Brad will be happy. Maybe not to have him back in the office full time.
He's bringing the car?
Yeah, he's bringing the car. I mean, he's going to have to wench it up onto the car at this, because that's why he's finishing the door panels. He's got the trunk done. The door panels are almost done. I don't know how Brad would feel about having Brian back in the office all the time. It's almost like, please go away, Brian. But I understand. Go ahead and get your comments in, guys. Fernando's going to be scrubbing through the page and lining them up, getting them ready for us to answer. But before we do that, as always, okay, so we're right on time. As I always like to say, we're going to screw it up, but right now we're on time. Not that.
Yep.
See, look at that. We're going to pull that one up. Hey, this first segment is brought to you, or us, all of us. Why is that still open? Hold on, let me close this. Save, of course. Just go away. It's brought to you by the fine folks at Focal. Now, one of the things, we're spotlighting products with them because they have some amazing products that we want to talk about. And one of them is this guy right here. This is the Sub 10 WM, or the Utopia 10-inch subwoofer. When I tell you this sub is magical, it's not a lie. This is probably, there's no probably about it. This is Focal's best sub that they've ever made, and people will swear by this as sounding the most amazing that they have ever heard a subwoofer ever sound. It's a shallow mount woofer. It'll work in a small, almost non-existent aerospace box, and trust me, we know. We've seen it in that particular enclosure. Was it .0 Dick? I think was what it was called. Anyways, if you're interested in having only the best in shallow mount subwoofers, check out the Sub 10 WM Utopia M subwoofer. It is quite impressive. It blows your mind. Hey guys. So you can find it at focal-america.com.
Where?
Focal-america.com.
Oh.
All right, give it to me. Lay it on me. Bring on the questions. Yay. Hi. 36 grit. Whatever. Oh, he's sanding, having fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably not.
He doesn't like sanding.
Oh, he loves sanding, dude. He loves all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just wanted to give a shout out to your friends at SoCal. I always get it wrong. Audio Systems. Oh yeah, SoCal. Shop in Montclair. Oh, Javier. Okay, let me just decipher all this. Javier and the guys over at Audio System, Yak Deal, fabricated and tuned my 2025 Mazda CX-70 Helix JL Audio W7. Very nice. Very nice.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, Junior is super talented. Junior will, can't say. Never mind. Junior's a great guy. Let's just leave it.
Junior is awesome.
Junior is awesome.
What about Javier? Dad.
Oh, I'll take Javier any day over Junior.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he's got more experience. Hi, what's up? How's it going? Hello from kind of boring town. Oh, that's funny. Good evening. Hi, how are you? What's going on? Hello from Texas. One question. What do you and Fernando think of the JLW7 series? True opinion. Listen, W7 has been around forever. Like forever. You've had that's one. Right. You've had one.
Yeah.
That was before you started working here.
Mm-hmm.
I've put in tons of W7s, not as from a non-dealer point of view. Like dealers have always put in way more than I have. But I've put in a lot of customers' W7s over the years. When it first came out, it just blew everybody's mind with the way they designed that surround on there. Definitely one of the first mega surround woofers to ever hit the market.
I regret selling it with the 1000, like 1000/1.
No, it's probably the best movie ever made. Because that amp was just not. I mean, it was going to fall apart.
I know.
I mean, they had a shelf life like anything else. No, I get it. It's the one you got to wait. I mean, I feel the same way about getting rid of all my Macintosh.
That was a half home.
Well, basically everything I've ever owned, I wish I still had.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it just takes up space. But
yeah,
I would also like to have all my cars. But anyways, back on point.
They great.
JLW7 is a fantastic driver. I always thought it was the SPL woofer because it looks like the SPL woofer, but apparently the W6 is the SPL woofer and the JLW7 is the sound quality woofer. Didn't know that. Jeff explained that to me one day. But either way, W7 is fantastic. If you got the room and the budget for it, I would totally go for it. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Haven't looked at it yet, but had a client call with the Ford Fusion DSR1 used to integrate FO2 harness. Said when he opens the left front door, audio cuts out in that door for about 10 seconds. Any ideas? Chime. Maybe chime. Could be a routing issue with chime. 10 seconds could be trying to do door chime through that speaker, and the chime volume is turned all the way down. That kind of seems like to make sense with me. However, because it is iData, I strongly recommend calling them and asking, because they're usually like 100% on point. Very rarely do they not answer my question. When they do, it's usually a pretty crazy question, but they have really good tech support there. So I would definitely give them a call. But to me, it sounds like it's trying to replicate a chime of some kind. When you open the door, like the key, ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? And the chime is just, and Ada kind of goes for the chime too. So it sounds like the chime is just turned all the way down or crossed over out of the, So chime, wind chime. Ting, ting. Anyways, go ahead. What a good sub in the correct non-SPL application. So we're talking about the W7. Yeah, for sure. He was a JL dealer for a very long time.
I'm sorry.
I know, it happens. It's just what it is. I got to scroll this down here so it doesn't get caught up. Bring up the next one. The white Corolla you installed, the Blackbird, in what was the sub amp you used? So he had his own sub amp in this, and it was a Kicker 1800.1, the CSA or C, the cheaper one. Big sucker went underneath the passenger seat.
Not that cheap.
Well, it's not like a KX amplifier. So you had the KX 2500, which they don't make anymore, but that is their affordable series amplifier. How is that? Is that better? Cheap is not a good word. So affordable line.
Yeah, affordable.
Because right now it's the only line they have because they don't have any high-end amplifiers. Right. So it's like CXA
affordable
1800.1.
It's good.
Yeah, no bass knob. You didn't want a bass knob.
Dude, I don't know why not.
Because
I think it has to be.
Even his girlfriend that was in the car when we were demoing it, he's like, he wouldn't use it. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'd feel better. Because it was just so much.
It was too much.
It was too much. What's up, Josh? It was pretty crazy.
Yes.
What's up, Mark? Big love. Big love. Good evening from Arkansas. Arkansas? No, it's Arkansas. Anyways, what are you...
Arkansas.
I know, it makes no sense. I know. What are your starting crossover points for a three-way set in the front? So that's going to vary depending on the speaker manufacturer. Each one is different. So, for example, Focal, like the Focal right there, that is 5,000 for the tweeter, 350 to 5,000 for the mid-range, and 350 and down to 80 for the mid-bass, and then 80 and below for the subwoofer. Depending on the Focal, depending on the Morel is going to be different. Depending on which line of Morels you go with is going to be different. Morel is super, super picky as far as getting those crossover points the way you want. Yeah. And like for the Focal, it's easy. It's 24 dB, Lankwitz Riley, those points every time. Doesn't matter what series. Works fantastic. Morel's all over the board. Most of the time, we got to call Casey and be like,
"They're here. They here."
Yeah, what are they doing?
They here.
And the reason for that, it's not a bad thing. It's just a thing because they have such a low FS.
Yeah.
Mock it right now. Yeah. The tweeter plays down so low. You could cross it over higher. Cross it over like a really safe for almost every speaker on the planet is like 3,200 or 32.5.
Yeah.
To that 350. And then 350 and below to 80 and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the advantages of fluctuating the tweeter crossover is where it really gets.
What
fun.
I would say is whatever manufacturer you have, whatever speaker from the manufacturer,
unless it's Alpine. Yeah, you can't call Alpine because Alpine won't tell you shit.
But try to.
Why would you do that?
Research.
Literally, that's what they said. Why would you do that? I don't know, because this sucks. This was a while ago, at least 3 years ago.
So. All right, so let's keep moving, man.
Yeah, sorry. I know. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go next question.
All right.
Saturday DSP talk, up mixing, right, left, center, rear, surround, got me rethinking my amp choices. Can I pair a Blackbird with an 8025? An X2. Okay, so you have 4 outputs. Keep in mind, all their standalone DSPs, so the PSM Pro, the PSM, all their standalone DSPs have this feature built into it. Okay, so it's not just a Blackbird. All of them do it. So, but you only have 4 outputs. So, however you want to use it from there. So if you're going to bridge the 80.5 to a 3-channel, I don't know what you want to do with it, but there's 4 outputs. Do whatever. Yeah, go for it. Been without power since Friday morning, but have a generator keeping us afloat.
Hey, man.
That sucks.
Yes.
Dude, this hurricane killed everyone. Literally and figuratively.
Hugo just got power yesterday at night.
Well, as we found out, the Dunkin' Donuts still does not have power. What the hell?
Hey, man, you can't get in there, man.
We just got our internet back, which there again, it's okay. So let's all be honest. Not being without internet is very trivial on the grand scheme of things. Like, I would rather have power. Internet can wait. But once you have power, it's like, dude, when are we going to get the internet back?
Oh, you like this?
Oh, my God. We're like it's crackheads. Oh, yeah, dude.
Exactly.
And, of course, the cell towers were getting hit. So the cell towers were getting hit so hard, it was almost pointless to go on there because everyone was trying to do the same. We're all over in the corner tweaking.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus, this sucks.
Yeah.
So Yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. All right, so we're gonna change this, and I'm gonna go here, and you can pull up another question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, and
All right.
go
I
ahead.
know you guys don't like to talk about prices that much, but is there anything currently in the 12-volt world that you absolutely consider overpriced for what you get?
Ooh,
That's a good
yeah.
one. Overpriced for what you get.
So, so the opposite is always the funny one. When you say something is underpriced for what you get, that's a good deal. But if
Uh-huh.
it's overpriced, it's a ripoff. I feel some of the cheaper stuff is overpriced, but we all excuse it because it's cheaper than its competitor. So, for example, when you look at like a set of X brands components that they're selling for like $199,
See, he's the dealer right there.
I'll jail is overpriced. That is not from me. Those are from his lips, and I can understand that.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
my bad.
yeah, he said it. F and Bobby's saying the F1 status. No, and there again, this is great for you guys to comment because at the end of the day, it's
You guys consider that
more
that's
relative to
overpriced.
you.
Yeah.
Meaning you didn't see the value in it, and that's really what it comes down to. Well, yeah, Chris Vera. So it's hard. It's hard, but I feel like some of the cheaper stuff is really what's killing everything. Because it's crap, but it seems like it's a good price, and it's really not. And so people are buying it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got this great deal on this." They're like, "No, you paid too much." Well, it was only like $199. So like we'll set. So it's like there's this phantom price point that will settle. It's like, oh, well, everyone else wants, let's say $300 for something or $400 for something.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys have it for $199. Oh, it's got to be a great deal because it looks shiny and it's neat and it's pretty. But the reality is it costs them like $14, and they're selling it for $199 because they know they can and they get away with it because the next thing that they're saying it can compete with is this model here, which we know it can't.
Yeah.
And so I feel that's where a lot of the value gets screwed because when it comes to the expensive stuff, most of the expensive stuff is that way because it just costs a lot to make. So I don't really think that. I think it's the cheaper stuff that they're just settling on. It's hard to say unless you listen in person, but JBL Stadium is pretty nice SQ sub, very fast and dynamic. Yeah, I would agree with that. They're very nice. I like their that's on my list of dream subs.
Yeah.
That one he has in his picture, that one. I want one of those.
Yeah.
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 Because I think it would make a nice Christmas tree.
Okay.
Okay. So next question. Blackbird and Nighthawk doing stereo integrity 8-inch in the door. Would you run the 8s on the Nighthawk for more power, or use the extra channel on the Blackbird for rear, or use Nighthawk for front sub? Listen, the Nighthawk is a whole bunch of power. A whole bunch of power. Even bridging the Blackbird is a whole bunch of power. Like, ouch. Okay. So I would probably just bridge 2 channels to it and call it a day and use the Nighthawk to power some subwoofers. That's just me. But, do you offer a kit for 2014 Tundra with JBL that I can DIY? Like a plug and play kit? No. Do we have all the pieces for you to do it? Yes. Can we build you a system that you might be able to install yourself? Of course. Yeah, of course. Why could we not?
Go pull.
But yeah, I don't see any reason why we couldn't. But there again, it's a hard question to answer because your level of ability versus our level of ability.
And we don't know where you're looking actually from the system, right?
All right, hold on a second. Hold on. Hey, this next section is brought to you by the fine folks at Audio Control. You can find them at audiocontrol.com. Did you know that Audio Control now offers pre-built subwoofer enclosures for the most popular trucks on the road, such as the F-Series and the Chevrolet? That's right, they do, along with the Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator, as well as the Bronco. And of course, for the rest of us, we just have normal subwoofer enclosures. But we have 3 new downfiring truck enclosures if you need a truck, the F-150 one, which is going to be the most popular one for us, it looks fantastic. I was looking at it today. The carpet feels so nice. There are full. Oh no, so there's no carpet. It's fiberglass enclosure, no carpet. It's all like rhino lined. It's fantastic. It feels very nice, very comfortable, very fun, very rigid. Anyways, yeah, I know. Move on. What?
Was overpriced.
Oh, yeah, it's 100%. Yes, Justin. Thank you. Justin came up with the best answer.
Pretty good. That was
Justin wins. Justin wins. Justin will be there too.
Justin will be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Blackbird three-way front stage with bridge mid bass on the X. Oh, okay. That was the only way I could think you could do it. Yeah. That would work fantastic. Yep. There you go. By all means, do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, I would. Dean, could you make a custom holder for my camera, Canon 5D camera? No. I haven't even done one for myself. What kind of holder do you want?
Where do you buy your holders?
5D M4. What's an M4 with Tamron? I'm guessing that's
with Tamron.
Did they make a 4?
The Tamron.
Tamron.
I just get it.
Did they go up to a 4? I guess they did come up to a 4. Mark 4. So I have a Mark 2. Yes, it is a Mark 4. So the 5D Mark 1 was the original that everyone got all cheesed up over. Then they came out with the Mark 2. I bought the Mark 2 and the Mark 4. I have both. I suck. And I don't use Tamron glass. Canon only. Bougie. Anyways. Have you learned anything from Jeff about the Helix DSP software you were not aware of and impressed you? The first part of the question, yes. Wrapped my head around some of it, but without doing it every day, I have to, keep up. 2, as far as impressed me, no, not at all. Nothing has impressed me yet. That's not a bad thing, though. See, because a lot of people think when I say that that's not a bad thing, or that's a bad thing. It really isn't, because as my wife and child will tell you, that it takes a lot to impress me. I'm not impressed easily at all. I'm the anti. Like, I'm just like, hey, this is cool. Even when they give me like some of the most amazing stuff, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I don't have a real high excitement level for things. So that's not taking anything away from it. It's just a personality flaw. Do I love the DSP software? No. Do I find the DSP software very good? Yeah, it is. Just because it doesn't always make sense doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I need to spend more time playing with it. And that's what she said.
Okay.
Good one. I know, right? Okay, hold on. He said something here. The 5D Mark IV was the last 5D before they switched to the mirrorless R. Yes. And there again, I have them both. I have the 5D, 2, 4, and the R. I don't have the R2 because it hasn't come out yet. And I have
not yet.
Yeah, I have a 1DX Mark something. I have no idea. I have 7s, both of those. I have all the new R. I have the R6 Mark II. I have 2 R8s. I got a lot of camera shit, and I got a bunch of lenses. It's ridiculous. It really is. It makes absolutely no sense. But
no sense.
No, not at all. Not at all. And dude, I'm a camera snob. 100% the biggest camera snob. Oh God, yes. Like, man, I suck at it. Like, you show up and you're walking around with, I'm like, dude, really?
What up?
What's up, bitches? I'm the worst.
I didn't even want to say that, but okay.
Yeah, well, I've turned you into it too. You're the same way, even though I know I can do most of it with my phone. What is your opinion on the 4-6 SP diff? Found a good deal on one and a new to DSP. Which brand? Which brand 4-6? I feel like we left that off.
SP diff?
No, it's got a diff. I don't. Is that the brand? I've never even heard of that. Let me.
4-6 with SP diff?
Yeah, it doesn't narrow it down. I need to know what brand to see if it's a good deal.
Right.
Can I click on one?
Okay.
Hey, can a good set of coaxials compete with a mid-level component set? I really don't want to mess with dash tweeters and my 2020 Ford Focus.
Ford Escape, bro.
Yeah, same thing.
Not really.
Yeah. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, right? You could use So if you bought like a set of entry level components and you bought a set of, let's say, flax coaxials, the flax coaxials will sound fantastic.
Yes.
Here's the problem. In the vehicle, the speakers are mounted so low, meaning they're down deep on the door. That tweeter is going to be firing into your knees. Okay, so it's going to take all the sound and go low on it, and it's kind of, that's what kills it. It's that it just moves the whole soundstage down so low in the door that it's like almost the cheaper set of components sound better just because it lifts the soundstage up higher. So it's not a matter of which one will sound better. We know that the higher end coaxial will totally sound better. It's getting the soundstage up on the dash is why you put the tweeter up there.
It's like everything's gonna sound like here.
Like we had years ago, we did an RX-7, which is funny because the guy came by recently and was like, "Oh my God, that was you!"
Yeah.
And we had to do a bunch of Morel. We did like Morel coaxials all the way around because at the time he's like, "We're not taking my dash out of my car to put the speakers in." And I go, "Well, that wasn't even a question." So and so it sounded fantastic. Like it was great, but it was like you're like this in the seat.
Oh, dude,
this sounds good down here. Yeah, this is wonderful. So but yeah, that's really the problem. So if you're cool with that, rock
on. So what we're going to do in my car is
we ordered the A-pillars.
The A-pillars. With the factory tweeter, and now you'll be able to put it.
Because you can, like, I ordered a set of A-pillars for the Taos. It cost me $100.
And believe me,
it's worth it.
It's going to be worth it for sure.
What ambient tweeter help? I mean, any tweeter would help. Tweeters are great. I would like to see an ARC.
What?
No, it's I would like to see an ARC
DSM. I think like DSM Pro.
Yeah.
Versus the Helix Ultra Pro MK3.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're asking for a feature comparison between the ARC software and the Helix software. I mean, they're different for sure. I mean, it's something we could do. I mean, you might as well throw the Gladen in there.
Let's
with
it. Let's go. Well. See, Jeff is going to come over here and build a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So the thing is that, okay, so the reason why I don't do stuff like that, like their software versus this software, is because at the end of the day, we all know that if you're not on my team, you suck, right? So if you like Helix software, I'm not going to try to win you over to the ARC Audio software. If you like the ARC Audio software, I'm not going to try to win you over to the Helix software. Explaining how something works on its own, to me, always makes the most sense as opposed to comparing it to somebody else's, because they're all different. They all have different thought processes that go into building these things. And it's very hard to be like, do a feature for feature tick box, because they don't act that way. Like their input setup is different than everybody's input setup. So I think if you just understand the software in general and you understand the other software in general, you can pick and choose like what feature makes the most sense for you, as opposed to being like, oh, look,
this is better than this.
This is better than that.
Right.
Because it's not really that. No. It's not who makes it's. I mean, yeah, the manufacturer would like to think that way. Like we make the best, the most baddest, and that's what they're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, we have to sit there and go, okay, that's cool. Here are the features, and here's how they work. And then from there, you can take whatever you want from it. Because there's literally a bunch of things that each one of them does that sometimes is questionable. What should I check for signals still coming through when volume is at 0? It's not loud, but there's a pop when system turns on. So pop when system turns on is not signal. It is everything turning on at once. It's usually a sequencing issue, meaning like if you have like a DSP and you have an amplifier, or you have an amplifier, or you have an EQ, it's several things going on at once and going pow, because they're not agreeing with each other. Something is sending a signal into something else. So like on a lot of the higher end DSPs, like Helix, like ARC, like Moscone, they have delays that you can adjust. Meaning when something turns on, oh, no, take that back. Moscone doesn't have that. Moscone is just it's built into it. It's not variable. But when things turn on, there's like a 1, 2, 3, and then this turns on. And then if you daisy chain them, it's like 1, 2, 3, and those turn on. So something is turning on and causing the problem. This is a very hard thing to fix because it's finding out what's popping and what is turning on. So it could be the whole system, like the inrush of signal. Just as the amplifier is turning on, you get the pop. How you typically troubleshoot this is by disconnecting remote turn-ons and going through the action of like turning the car on and then connecting the remote turn-on. So that's like 1, 2, 3, connect. And then if you don't get a pop, okay, I need a delay here. I need something that can hold this remote turn-on and then release it. There is such a device that exists in the world. And it is this piece right here. It's the Metra. It's this cool little box, which we do have a video on it. If you want to see how it works, just type in AX-PS or Pop Stopper. And what this little guy is designed to do, it's got a cool, this is actually a screen here, so you can easily see it. This is probably one of the most basic, well thought out things that I've ever seen in a long time. But what it allows you to do is create and hold something as well as hold something when it turns off. So you have turn on and turn off. And you can use multiples of these if you need them. But what it's designed to do is exactly that. It'll sense the turn on, and then it'll wait, and then it'll turn on. Now, some of the problems you run into in a factory car nowadays is that when you unlock the car is already active, and it's already through the DC offset has already turned on the system. So when you turn the radio on, you get a pop. In that case, you may need to use something else to create a different type of remote turn on. Or you just need to have this set up for a longer period of time. So there are other things out there. So it's just a matter of figuring out what is causing the pop. It can be a pain in the butt. And sometimes, too, believe it or not, what it comes down to being is the equipment. The equipment just isn't good. And it could be great equipment, but still give you pops, which kind of sucks. Okay. I go here. And then throw me up a question when I'm setting this up.
Just throw it.
Yeah. Just pitch a question at me. I'm gonna.
Okay. When shopping for a 14 to 18 Silverado 1500, okay.
Okay.
Will you recommend looking for a base model, non-amplified system, or how would you recommend to integrate either of those trucks?
So 14 to 18,
non-amplified or amplified
it doesn't matter on that one because 14 to 18 uses the most bus, and there's actually an adapter for it, whether it's amplified or non-amplified. So if you get it with the Bose system, or you get it without the Bose system, it'll integrate just fine if you're planning on keeping the stereo. So from that perspective, it doesn't really matter. If you get it with the Bose system, I will say that your life will be a little easier because all the wiring is in the back of the car. So if you don't have to go crazy. And the Bose integration does work better because you don't have to do any like turn key off, turn on, or anything like that. But the Amp Pro for that, it works both amplified and non-amplified. So it's all good.
So there you go. Bose system.
Yeah, Bose is definitely easier to install because, like I said, everything is in the back, so you don't have to run a bunch of wires.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, this next segment is brought to you by the fine folks at Arc Audio. I know we've been talking about them a lot today, which is great. That means you guys are big fans of the product. We've been talking a lot about the Moto series. One of the other products that they make in the line, I just was stumbling across and digging deep into the webpage. Like, hey, there's a lot of web page, a lot of fun, and I have a lot of fun digging into the manufacturer's web pages. And they're good because it's impossible to know everything. I don't care who you are, and I don't have that kind of time in life. But I stumbled upon these guys here, which are the KS series amplifiers. And the reason why I did that is because I know Brian just used this cool logo to finish off his door panel to make the door handle on it, which is really neat. But these are 3 amplifiers that are very unique and high power. And we have the KS 300.2 V2, we have the 300.4 V3. Did I say V3 version 3, and then the 600.2 V3. These are straight power amplifiers, and if we click on them, we can read more. We'll take the big dog because this is what everyone is interested in. Now, this is a 2-channel amplifier. However, you can bridge it, but if you wanted to, we're talking about big power here. This is 400 watts by 2 at 2 ohms. Holy crap. That's a lot of power. And then we have 600 watts at 2 ohms and 1200 watts bridged. Okay, and it's got some really nice specs along with it. But these are the things that as you stumble through the web pages, you can find all kinds of neat stuff that you've never knew existed before, which is fun and exciting. So head over. They make more than just Blackbirds. I know why they do. I don't know, because at the end of the day, we all just want Blackbirds anyways. But hey, check them out, arcaudio.com. What's up, Mr. Brinkley?
Okay, so now talk about, DSPs.
What soft dome tweeter would you recommend for my 17 Chevy Traverse, 8-pillar mounted, 100 watts rated, Kenwood DMX 57? Okay. Silk soft dome tweeters. Okay, so there's really 3 that come to mind when I think of silk soft dome tweeters. 1, of course, is the Morel, which is going to be my favorite. 2 is going to be an Audio Frog GB series, and 3 is going to be a Hertz because it hurts so good. The first 2 are going to be like the last one is going to be, even though it's a soft dome, it sounds more like a hard dome. It's kind of like a bit much, but it's not everyone is into that. But those 3, I would check them out and see which one works for you, and there you go.
Hey man, you're doing a great job.
Point with spot. Fang, I'm trying very hard. I'm seeing your thing popping up on the side here, and I know it's time to do it. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the clock because it's how we pay the bills around here. Plus, I have to bill them all. It's the end of the quarter. So, Mike Rio says, also, if your DSP has a remote out, always use it. And use most good DSPs. No relays needed for multiple turn-ons. Regardless of that, most amplifiers nowadays don't even, they take a breath and the amplifier will turn on. Relays can actually do more harm than good, especially like a big 30 amp one. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if your DSP or EQ or anything that you have that has a remote out, you have remote in, you have remote out. There's a reason why it has a remote out. You better be using it because I said so. I blew one of the mid woofers in my front doors. Can you recommend a set of 6.5 components you'd get for $300 or less? So obviously there's a bunch to choose from. One of my personal favorites when it comes to cost-effective speakers is the Kenwood Exelons. Really nice sound. It does have a bigger tweeter though, so you need a little room for it. But very nice speaker. Probably falls within that price range. The CS from Kicker, very affordable, very loud, very nice. Sounds way better than what you're paying for. So the Kicker CS is nice. The only problem with that is you do have the big passive crossover you have to find someplace to put. They haven't figured out that yet where you should put it in 2 pieces. So that's kind of a bummer there. And then if you want to go a little bit more, the integration series from Focal and or the auditor series from Focal. Actually, probably the auditor series would probably fall right in your budget and be very impressive. So there you go. There's 4. Boom. I have the CXA 360.4 and power remains on with no audio input or remote input, just power and earth. Do you know what is happening? Sure. So if you have constant 12 volts in it and you have a remote and you have high level input activated, then it is seeing DC offset. Okay, that's the FIT circuit that is built into it. How you can test for this to see what it is seeing is with a digital multimeter. What you're looking for is your speaker lines. See, the reason why this exists is even as soon as you turn on remote turn on, as soon as you go high level into the amplifier, it is going to automatically bypass the remote turn on section and use the FIT circuit. Okay, it's just what it does. And what it's doing is it's looking for 3 to 6 volts coming over the positive or negative speaker wire on the driver's front speaker. Okay, so if you take your digital multimeter, set it to DC, it's the line with the dashes, take your black, go to ground, and go to either disconnect it from the amplifier, your left and right, and go directly to the positive side of that. In the situation where the amplifier was on, you should see 3 to 6 volts on that line. Okay, if you see that, that is what is waking up the amplifier. Now, that should go to sleep depending on the car once the car is left alone. Meaning, no, if you have the key fob that walks up and it automatically wakes up, if you have a jiggler in the keys, proximity, you touch it, you open the door, you do anything to wake up the car, that automatically turns on because the car is prepping itself for takeoff. Okay. And so what happens a lot of the times is people walk out to the car, they disarm it, they see the amp was on, like, oh, what the hell? It shouldn't be on. And then they and then they shut the doors, and then they come back later and it's still on. It's not. It shuts off usually after between 30 and 5 minutes, 30 seconds to 5 minutes, not 30 minutes. It goes into low power mode when it is like this, so it's only drawing like an amp and a half, not much. But that's what you want to check for to see what it's doing. And if it's not doing that, then there's something wrong with the amplifier. But my guess is that's what it is. We get it all the time. Does the factory Alpine in a 2020 Grand Cherokee play clean to full volume? How it rolls off? I'm doing an Amp Pro for aftermarket amps. Okay. So I guess the easiest answer to this is no. It really doesn't play clean all the way up. When it comes to these particular, like the Chrysler, I don't use an Amp Pro. I haven't used an Amp Pro in years for Chrysler. I do a DSR1 for that one because I like the integration better for that. What?
Or Narc Audio?
You could do a PSM Pro also, yes. But I don't really use the Amp Pro for that one. It's just not my thing. But no, it does not play clean all the way up. So there's that to concern yourself with.
Okay.
But it does fix the roll-off. It is flat. Fellas, I was disappointed. Oh, wow. I direct wired from my Android into my 4200 NEX with the USB-C to RCA and a DAC chip thinking it would sound better than Bluetooth. Bluetooth was way better. Why? Because here's the thing. You bought a USB-C to RCA adapter. And guess what? Your USB-C to RCA adapter sucked. We had to do a ton of testing on this when Apple switched to USB-C as well as Android using USB-C. USB-Cs all have a DAC built into the USB-C. And so when it's for audio, it will put a high pass and low pass filter, basically a band pass on it. It is tragic. If you want to do this and be more successful with it, I suggest getting the Apple USB-C to aux jack and then getting an aux to RCA connector for it to go off to your piece. Their cable is a full bandwidth output. We've tested tons of these things. Like I probably spent $100 or more, $200 or more. I spent a lot of money buying USB-C to aux jacks, and not one of them passed.
Yeah.
You can use an IRTA2 to see this. We actually have a video up in the IRTA2 playlist showing you this. If you want to take a look at it, see what we're talking about, I recommend doing that. But more than likely, the problem was the cable and not what you were trying to do. So, yeah. Sad. Is the Nighthawk amp going away? Seen it on closeout at a couple places. No. Could just be somebody's getting rid of it. I don't know. But no, it's not going away anytime soon. They can't make enough of them. That's kind of weird. But yeah, not going away. Quick break here. Hey guys, the industry awards are happening right now. And so if you are a dealer or work for the 12-volt industry, or if you're a consumer, there's voting capabilities for both of you. So if you head over to MEIndustryAwards.com, that is MEIndustryAwards.com. You can come over here to vote, and when you click it, you have voting for retail awards, voting for vendor awards, and consumer voting awards. So if you're a consumer, you can click on here, fill out the paperwork, come down to here, and you can vote for your favorite store, vote for your favorite installer, and they're all listed in here, as well as vote for your favorite sales professional. And if you scroll down, oh my gosh, is that me? That's me. Oh my gosh, I'm right there. Hey, you can vote for me as your favorite sales professional. If you want. You don't have to, I'm just saying. If you work for a store, you can vote in the retail awards. And if you scroll down, you can vote for retailer, installer, as well as if you come down here to Trusted Tech. Oh, wait, where's it at? Trusted Tech. There he is right there. Our good Fernando Lopez is up for top 5 Trusted Techs. Yep. So that's MEindustryAwards.com, and you can vote. Moscone 4 to 6. Moscone 4 to 6 is fantastic. Pick one up. If you got a good deal on it, definitely get one. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Hi guys. Oh wait, jeez. Put yours up.
Okay.
It's your time.
Hi guys. Okay.
Oh, hey guys. I was curious your thoughts on bringing the soundstage up with sound pods, and if so, do these interfere with airbag deployment? Man, nobody cares about no stinking airbags. What are you kidding me? Who cares about airbags? Airbags are for wussies.
What are airbags?
What are airbags? Yeah, so just travel with some pillows, bro. The reality is...
die like a man.
die like a man. Be like a man. Spartans.
Yeah.
Yeah, hug your brother.
Okay, I want to hear this.
No, 100%. This is one of the things that bugs the crap out of me, too, because you see these giant pods that are attached to the side of these cars, and yeah, some of them are definitely going to get in the way of proper functionality of the airbag. There's no question about it. It's why the factory doesn't do it. So, yes, you have to be careful, and you have to understand what it is you're doing. So, in the sense of being real, so the A-pillars are designed to come down like this, so the airbags can shoot out the sides or come down. Okay, yeah. So you have to keep that in mind. That most of the time they have to pop out about an inch or two. There's usually some form of a clip on there that limits their movement to prevent that. Now it depends on the vehicle also. So some airbags just could deploy from the top down, in which case you have nothing to worry about. The other thing too is where is it coming out of in the dash. So there is a way to do it safely, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing. The other thing is you are adding weight to them, okay? So with adding weight, now you're exceeding what the manufacturer spec for that clip was. So, you get hit 60, 70 miles an hour. I really don't think you're going to care about where that tweeter pod ends up. You're just going to hope it doesn't end up in your teeth. But yeah, that's kind of it. As long as you're smart about it, you should be fine. But yes, it can get in the way of airbag deployment. I've seen some that are definitely not airbag safe. Mr. Brinkley. Yeah. I mean, you've seen them too. We just look at them and go, oh, wow. I don't want to be in their car.
And the last part of the show is brought to you by
ThinkWareStore.com. That's right. You can head over to ThinkWareStore.com and pick up yourself an amazing dash cam with parking lot surveillance mode. We found out all about parking lot surveillance mode the other day.
Yeah.
We just installed one in Fernando's car. You guys are going to see that video here shortly. Where we were working on the car. He was vacuuming it out afterward, tripping that parking lot mode all the time. So it works. It's very sensitive, and it will pick anyone bumping or feeling or rubbing on your car, which is fantastic.
And it talks to you.
It does talk to you. If you're lonely and need a friend.
Yes.
It's perfect for you. So you're good. When you tune a system with a DSP, do you tune it for the customer's music listening taste or just for overall types of music? A little bit of both. So usually I'll talk to the customer and find out what it is that they're listening to. Most of the time we know when we so how a sales transaction typically goes is I'll go out to their car. So tuning the DSP starts way back in the beginning. Okay, so we go out to the car, we figure out what it is they're trying to do, we come up with suggestion for speakers, and usually it starts with the speakers. Okay, so when they start to explain to me what it is they would like. So for example, a gentleman came in today, he has an F-150, he's had DS-18 in the past. in his older car that he really didn't care about, but this one he really cares about. And he's been driving around with it for a couple months now. And he's like, I kind of like being able to hear the vocals, which I couldn't hear before when I had my DS18s. It was just. So I was like, okay. He goes, but I still want it loud. So it was coming up with a system idea for that. We were like, okay, let's do some T2s from Rockford. We do some T1s in the back, get it nice and loud and violent. DSR1 is going to go in there for integration. Now, I know when I've sold him this system that I picked these speakers for a reason. So I'm going to tune it in a manner that is conducive to that. Like it's going to make those sound the best that they can. He also tells me the type of music he listens to. Now, in some cases, I might not see these people for months. And so when they come drop their car off, I'll have another conversation with them just to go over my notes and be like, okay, so we're doing this. What did we talk about? Because I'm not going to remember. What kind of music do you listen to? And then oh, yeah, this all makes sense. And so then we'll tune it with that in mind. Because I don't really want the person going back into their tone controls. They can. It's theirs. Do whatever they want. But I don't want you going in there and turning your tweeter all the way up because it wasn't hot enough, because all you're going to do is break my stuff. And I don't want you to break it.
Don't break my stuff. You pay for it, but it's mine.
That's right. It's my blood, sweat, and tears that went into putting this in your truck. So don't break my stuff. So, yes, we will tune it to the customer. If a component has remote in and remote out, it shuts off the amp first and turns on the amps last. This helps eliminate turn on and off pop. Correct. There's usually a delay built in there to make it even more fun. Marty. I still need a bill. Who do I need? I need a bill. Okay, sorry. That's all right. Go ahead. Hit your button again. I overreacted. Did you work on a Hyundai Palisade before? What do you recommend to use, DSP or audio control converter? Yes, we've worked on one before. Most of them have only come in for subwoofer upgrades. Very few of them have been interested in doing anything more than a subwoofer upgrade, which tells me that the factory system there is just okay, lacking bass. So a bunch of soundbar guys with subs in the living rooms. As far as DSP or audio control converter, always DSP, whether it be an audio control DSP or anybody else's DSP, always DSP, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to make it sound good with what you're trying to do to it, not what they tried to do to it. So when you just do a high to low converter, you're settling on whatever they've decided it's supposed to sound like. So in that case, you're hoping that the speakers you're going to put in are going to make enough of a sound difference to make you happy. But if they don't, what are you going to do? Nothing. So, fellas, where are we eating in Birmingham? Dude, seriously, who knows? I don't know. I'm not even I'm still not even ready to go yet, let alone where I'm going to eat. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Rob talking food now. Yeah, that's up to you guys. Let's just leave it at that. You guys can figure it out. They have a Texas Day Brazil. You guys, oh my God. Steak on a stick. I just looked. You guys are funny. There's one within walking distance of, Chris in Birmingham. Yep. Okay. You guys, all right. Foodies. I swear to God. Okay. Moving on. Have you ever heard about Focal iSub Twin? Yes. So that's that little square thing, right? Yeah. So we actually put a set of those.
We put two, yeah.
What's a set?
Yeah.
That's why it's called the Twin.
Yeah.
We put a set of those in. So the first trip when we went out to Mobile Solutions with Orca to do video, we were working on his daughter's Jeep, and we ended up putting a set of those in a very complicated mount that Tom Miller made underneath the front seats of the Jeep. Mm-hmm. So the system that was designed used the iSub Twins underneath the front seats of the Jeep. We kept the 4-inch in the dash, and we put a new tweeter in the top of the dash. And then I think we did the same in the rear, and we powered that all off of the Moscone Pico 8 to 10. So the Pico, and then we also put a Flax 10-inch subwoofer in the rear where the factory was. So we used those as mid-bass. So yeah.
Yeah.
Should you buy them? If you plan on using them as mid-bass, yeah. If you're using them as a subwoofer, I would probably look at the JBL ones because they're not made for us. Keep in mind, in Europe, they don't play at the volumes we play them. 110 dB, tapping out. We did this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They got chicken and salad. I know. I've been to Texas de Brazil, bro. All right, you know what? Go back to that one again. The other one that is just,
Which one?
the one that you just pulled up. They were asking about the 360.4 because I did have an idea. So what 5-channel amp would you recommend for 500 or less? Kenwood Exelon, either the 802 2.5 or the 901.5. I only have power and earth connected. The amp turns on and it has been draining my battery. All right, so if all you have is power and ground connected to it and it's turning on, there's a problem with the amplifier. Okay, that's definitely a problem with the amplifier because if there's no speaker wires connected to it, there's
RCAs.
I mean, if literally we have a red wire and a black wire and that is it, nothing else is there, and the amplifier is turning on with that, you have a problem.
The amplifier
that should not turn on at all because it needs either a high level. It needs a high level turn on that's going to come through the speaker. If it's low level, it's going to be over the remote. Nothing else should turn that amplifier on at all, period. So if it's just 12 volts ground and it's turning on, there's something wrong with it. So I would reach out to them and send it back, get it fixed.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes the most sense, right? Yeah, I agree. I answered that one. Well, let me see. I'm going to pull this one up while you're scouring. What's up, guys? What's up with the lack of 911 installs? Very entertaining. I miss them. The reality is if we never had to do another one of those again, I'd be fantastic because that means that everyone has figured out how to do installation properly and they don't need to bring them to us to spend a bunch of money for us to fix them. So as of right now, we just haven't had people showing up with bunk ass systems to fix. So that's good for us. That's fantastic. So
I know for you guys suck because you guys like to watch that, but it's just sometimes you feel better when it's like, oh man, they haven't hacked any.
They haven't been killing us. Audison, Forza M8 14-bit amp versus Blackbird, which is more flexible with center and rear sub. So both great amplifiers. I have not figured out where they are hiding their center channel up mixer in the Forza. I know it has it. I just haven't been able to find it. So I know it's there. Whereas in the Blackbird, I know exactly where it's at. I showed it to you guys. So from my perspective, like if I had to do this tomorrow, I would do the Blackbird because I know where it's at. If I had a couple weeks, I'd still probably do the Blackbird, but I would go and figure out where these things are hidden in the Audison. I have spent a lot of time in it recently just because we're doing the thing with them and we're still waiting for part 2. I know it hasn't come out. We're going to do it in a couple weeks. But supposedly they're there. I got to look some more. I'll see if I can figure it out before this weekend. I really like those 911s. It's unfortunate for the customer. And that's just it. Trust me, it breaks my heart to do them. I don't like doing them. It's because that means that somebody wasted a bunch of money. The last one we had to do, we really couldn't film, so we did it on like Instagram, which was fun. But yeah, have a great week, everyone. Great show, Dean and Fernando. Appreciate all the insight you share and awesome group folks in the chat. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Wishford Rockford had a 3-way. Be patient. Oh, didn't say that. Coming soon to the theater to you. Go ahead and drop your pants on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull this one up here. I've been having a problem with my sub. It goes up and down. And it's not the volume thingy that some of the new cars have. You're thinking of ANC. Could it be too much power on it? It's a 10-inch flax running on a Moscone 530. So there again, the thingy that you're talking about is fake engine noise. Fake engine noise, as you rev up the car, subwoofer does its thingy because it's trying to emulate exhaust noise. If it's doing it while it's driving, it's that. The chance of it not being that is pretty thin because there's really nothing else that would cause that. Um, Without knowing the car and how you've integrated into it, it's very hard to answer this question though.
Mm-hmm.
So we would need more stuff.
A lot of variables.
Yes.
So.
Lots of variables. Question: Sony AX7000 appears to only have a single RCA for sub. Do I need a Y adapter or does it matter? So this is a question that always just kind of pisses me off too, because it's like, just for the love of God, put a dual RCA on there. Most of the time they're mono RCAs anyways when they come out of the radio. So it really just depends on the amplifier. Okay. Some amplifiers will definitely sound better when you feed both inputs. So we always play it safe and I always throw a Y jack in there. I mean, it's because I'm running 2 RCAs anyways. I'm not just going to leave one hanging out behind the dash.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
I just grab a good Y jack RCA.
Now, if I'm going into a DSP or something like that, then it doesn't matter because that's all built into the DSP. I can just clone it over to the other side and call it a day if I need to do that, or control the gain there. But if you're just like talking, got a 7000 in there, going off to an amplifier, I always throw a Y jack in there, male to female, and life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut out.
What's that?
We cut out with
funny, you say too much when you say nothing. Oh yeah, I like to talk. It's just what always happens. Hey guys, that's almost the show, as Fang put up there for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this Monday. We had a great time. We'll be back, of course, Saturday with more Q&A at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as well as Friday, the news. Ooh, the news. I love doing the news show. It's half hour, 9 a.m. Friday morning, Eastern Standard Time. Get you up to date on what's happening, what's new, what's exciting, what's going on. As well as, of course, you can head over to Instagram, where you can find a lot of the silliness that happens in the install bay. Sometimes silly 911 stuff just pops in, and we just kind of point it out and be like, hey, look how stupid this is that we have to fix today. It just is what happens. It's a lot of fun to check in. And if you missed the Instagram show, it always goes up on Monday. So for those of the people that always ask, how come it's shot like this? It's because it's from Instagram, dude. They won't let me turn the camera when I'm live. Yeah. So definitely, if you don't follow us on Instagram, head over and follow us on Instagram. It's a great place also to answer your questions during the week. If you're just like, I gotta know, or you just like Q&A stuff, we answer way too many questions over there. That's all I got. It's a 1700 cord with a Pioneer floating edge unit
and a DSP.
DSP.
What do you use to integrate it?
A Honda Accord Pioneer floating head unit.
Pioneer. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that does. Okay. So here's the deal. Did you disconnect the factory ANC module? Because it does have one. Even if you went with the Pioneer radio, out of the Pioneer radio, you're running it. The speaker wires are still run through it. So you want to make sure you've disconnected that. Also, I don't know. So the Helix DSP Helix does have, I think it's hard to get to. They do have loudness. Oh, but you also have it in the Pioneer head unit. So there is a feature, there is a microphone you can turn on in the Pioneer head unit to give you that stupid annoying problem as well. So I don't remember what it's called. It's like volume driving or some silliness like that. So, but the other thing you can do too is get a digital multimeter, put it onto the 530's input, and just kind of figure out what's going on, seeing if there's an issue with voltage and getting a spike. Keep an eye on that RPMs to voltage and see if like there's something happening at a specific time, because the Hondas typically would turn off the alternators below 45 miles an hour. And so you could be sensing it when you hit 45, 50, you're getting more power in the amplifier. Maybe that's when it's going up. But you could see that with a voltmeter, because then you could be like, oh, it got louder. Oh, hey, look, So there are some stuff there to check. And just the ANC modules above the glove box. So you got to pull the glove box down. It's a little box. You can Google it. It's pretty easy to find. Yeah. But it still needs to be disconnected. That's all we got for today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you guys so much for coming and playing along with us. always fun trying to figure out the name for these shows. But you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.